Hi everyone. I have decided that I'm going to do little vlogs. There's so much happening in the background of my life and I really love sharing personal things, and I think the reason why I want to share a little bit of my behind the scenes is because whilst I want to educate people around relationships and sex and intimacy and being your best self, I think sometimes it's really great when I can kind of put it into perspective in the way that I have used everything that I'm going to teach on my channel in my own personal life. So a little bit, I guess, about me is that I was single for 11 years before I met my current partner, Chris. During that time, I built a business, a relationship and intimacy coaching business. I also spent a lot of that time really peeling back the layers of relationship and how to relate with someone, and really looking at the way that I relate in relationship, my relationship patterns and my behavioral patterns and how I was showing up, and kind of like also just my conditioning and social conditioning and my belief system around relationships, around men, around communicating and sex and intimacy and all that kind of stuff. So I really peeled back the layers and rearranged everything because I didn't like the way that my relationships were unfolding. I had just gone through a breakup when I was 28. So if anyone knows anything about astrology, when we're 28, we go through our Saturn return. It basically means Saturn takes 28 to 32 years to do a full rotation around the Earth from the day that you were born. And during its return to that place where it started in the sky, everything in your life that doesn't have a really strong foundation starts to really fall away. So relationships can really end, marriages can go through divorce, you can have really big life shakeups, like you move to another part of the world or a city. You can lose jobs, all that kind of stuff. Like everything that isn't going to serve you for your next 30 years kind of falls away. So I went through a breakup and I was really devastated, and I'm a pretty sensitive person, so I took it kind of quite hard. And so I used a lot of the time that I was single to really understand myself a lot better, heal my broken heart, and really ask myself, what do I want in a relationship and how do we do this right? Like, how do we have sustainable relationships? Because what I was seeing around me in my business and also through friends and the greater community is that so many people get into relationships, but they're not really satisfied. And a lot of people blame and talk really negatively about their partner. So I was like, okay, I'm not really liking anything that I'm seeing. Like, there's no model of excellence I had where I was like, okay, these two look like they're really in love and have a supportive team environment and they've got strong foundations in their relationship. I want to be like that. I could always pick in the business realm people who I looked up to from a business and an entrepreneurial standpoint, but I could never find a model of excellence in the relationship space. I had to become the model of excellence for myself, but I was single. So how do you do that, right? So I did spend a really long time working on myself, and it's been a great 10 years getting to know me and learning to really love my own time and to date myself and really have fun in my own company and build a life for myself that I can be really proud of. And I ended up moving to the Gold Coast in Australia and had a little 2-bedroom flat there where I was living and also doing massages and treatments out of my second bedroom. And then 2 days after I turned 39, I met Chris, my beautiful partner. It was really a meeting of souls, and it was really quite a beautiful experience coming together with him. I don't know if anyone has felt similarly. When you meet someone and you feel so familiar with that person and like you know that person from a soul perspective, but you're like, I don't know this person who's standing in front of me. Like, I've never met this man who's standing in front of me. I don't know the person, but there was like a soul recognition when I met him, and he felt the exact same. And there was this instant calm that we felt with each other, which was really nice because I'd never experienced something so calm before. When you look at the Hollywood films, even books, romantic novels, there's always this push and pull, this like drama, trauma bond between the two main characters. And I never actually wanted that in my long-term relationship. I wanted something calm. I wanted gentle love. So yeah, it's been really beautiful unfolding between the two of us. That was July last year when we met and we dated, and then in December we decided that we were going to move to Thailand. We were like, well, we finally met each other and finally we've found someone that we can build a life with, and we want to build a life with each other, but what does that look like? And thank God he shares the same value that I have, and that value is adventure, and he loves to travel and so do I. We decided to pack up both our houses. I sold a lot of my stuff, my car, heaps of my furniture, and I moved into Chris's house in Byron Bay, and then we packed up his house and we've moved to Thailand. So yeah, we've been on Koh Phangan which is a little tiny island above Koh Samui in, I think it's the Gulf of Thailand, and it's a beautiful little island, beautiful beaches, lots of snorkeling, gorgeous sea life. So we've been here for a month. We are loving it. It's really starting to feel like home now. But the one thing that I'm really proud of in this relationship and what we both really do value is teamwork and communication. I was, writing out my list of how I want to feel in a relationship and how I want to be treated in a relationship, and with the values of that relationship, communication was such a huge part of that. Chris, I probably have to credit him more than me. He's great at communicating. He's a Gemini, so they love to chat. He is always connecting with us and making sure that I'm great and that we've got our connection practices. We just started doing them at the beginning of our relationship, and they've just become such a ritual. Deciding after 4 months or 5 months of dating someone to decide to move overseas, we really put ourselves in a bit of a pressure cooker in terms of, moving out of one house, moving into the next house, moving out of that house, all the renovations that needed to go on in his house before we actually put it on the market, and then cleaning his house, cleaning my house. I broke my lease, so there was like stress of how much is it going to cost me because I wasn't finished with my lease. So I am really proud of the way that we've handled that, and it all comes down to our value around communication and checking in with each other all the time and making sure that when certain things come up, we always came back to love. Regardless of if one of us was triggered or some stuff was coming up, we both have a level of awareness that we know if one of us is being triggered in a certain way, we know that it's actually childhood stuff. We know that it's not really that person doing something, it's what we're making it mean about that certain thing. And so we very quickly connect with each other and talk it through. Instead of making it his problem or him making it my problem. So we're very quick to be very aware about our childhood stuff and of ourselves. There's something very deep within myself that I don't want to have a relationship where I'm blaming my partner and making it his problem or making out that he is the problem in the relationship. That's not the type of relationship that I want. So I knew I am the architect of my relationship with him. I know how to speak up in a loving way and ask for my needs to be met or ask for something from this relationship, from this container, because I respect him so much and because I respect the container so much. So my respect for my partner far outweighs my ego, and that is a baseline in my relationship with him. So yeah, that is my first vlog. I hope I haven't chatted off your ear and you're still with me. But stick around for some more videos in the next couple of weeks. Don't hesitate to ask any questions. I'm here. And and I'd love to connect with you all. So yeah,